So hi, welcome to another episode of Life on the Couch. This is number 2 for us.
It is.
I am Adam Bagley.
I'm Libby Watson.
And I'm Ken Johnson.
And so lifeonthecouch.org, you can find us there, and we look at counseling issues, we look at mental health, we also look at just everyday issues or concerns that might come up, and we explore those there. So I watched The Marriage Ref.
I've also watched The Marriage Ref.
I've seen clips of The Marriage Ref.
You've seen enough.
Well, if you watched the intro, you may have seen enough.
Yes.
I'm not sure I saw the intro, but I definitely saw pieces of it.
So what did you think?
I can see why people would like it, because I can see, like, if I've ever been in an argument, I want to win.
Okay.
So I can see why people like that aspect of it. I mean, it's not real life, but...
Okay. What did you think?
I thought the entire show was fake. I think it was created to get a laugh, and it didn't seem realistic to me. I mean, being a marriage counselor for 20 years or more, it doesn't come across as being very helpful at all to changing any of the dynamics within that couple. They're just looking for laughs and putting them on TV.
So you don't play a laugh track with your clients in your office when they're fighting?
Nope, doesn't mean we don't laugh in the middle of counseling, but nope, I usually don't have a recording going on behind me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm with you, because I think it's doing exactly what they wanted it to do. It's creating a division between I hate it and I like it, and we're talking about it. I mean, I've seen so many shows that are talking about it. They've got a place on Facebook, and people are talking about it there. People are talking about the show. It's creating
it's entertainment, and I think that's why it's created, but I don't think it realistically deals with the issues that couples are really dealing with in counseling, nor does it share a proper insight into what counseling is all about. So I think people get the wrong idea about how you fight and how couples work on issues. And if they look at that as a way of dealing with their problems at home, I think they get the wrong idea. For entertainment value when it comes to marriage issues, I'd prefer to watch Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Because at least he's a real psychologist with real credentials and knows something about what he's talking about. Hardly does Madonna, exhibit any knowledge of what a real therapist is going to be doing, or how does she know about what's going on, or Larry David, or any of the people that they have on there. And even the marriage rep himself, what credentials does the marriage rep have? He is a comedian.
So I want to know, you like to win.
Yes.
So, all right. So can you win in a marriage? Like, what do you win?
No,
What do they
I
win?
mean, I think finally I had to figure out that either I'm going to win or I'm going to win at marriage.
Okay, all right.
Does that make sense? Because
Well,
you're
yeah.
not going to stay married if you want to win all the time.
See,
I agree with that.
See, I don't know. That's what I was trying to talk to both of you about. I mean, if we're looking at it like a sitcom, and I love at the end where they play like Al Green's Love and Happiness, like we wrapped it up, we're all kissing, we're hugging, everything's perfect and we fixed it, to what you're talking about more, if we're looking at it from a marital standpoint, are we moving our marriage forward, or are we stagnating and stuck in one spot? And, I got it this time, and now I'm the winner this time.
I don't think that we
must-
can really identify, particularly with the couples that they have, nor with the direction they want to go. This is purely entertainment for entertainment purposes, not really to resolve conflicts or for the viewer to go, oh, I can utilize that in my own marriage.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think a big part of it for me was I had to change the way I was looking at the show because my expectations were not being met. When I look at it purely for entertainment, I'm basically not going to watch it at all because I don't find it entertaining. But, it's not, I'm not looking at it for counseling's sake either.
Okay.
So I'll end it with a maybe serenity now.
That is so funny.
And maybe we'll transition from that into some topics. I thought maybe this week we'll let you kind of start. You may have started last week. I can't remember, but anyways.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of goes along with our intro today in terms of talking about the marriage ref. But I was reading a couple of weeks ago in Newsweek, the title story in Newsweek in that issue was around, how do layoffs hurt businesses? How does layoffs hurt what's going on in a person's life? And particularly when I'm dealing with couples, I have so many couples that come in where one of them has been laid off, particularly the male has lost their job, and now they're trying to find another job, and just how the dynamics in a marriage changes from that perspective of being a breadwinner and having a job to now not having a job, and what do they do with themselves? You know, obviously the first thing we think about is, oh, go find another job. Well, we know that that's a little difficult right now, so they're going to probably be at home for a lot longer and dealing with finding a job. So now how do they relate to each other? And I really see some changes in the way couples are relating to one another based on who's in the job market, who's not in the job market, who's taking care of the kids, because everything gets reversed. And I think it really changes the dynamics in a couple.
So, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of wondering, maybe from a female point of view, so if you're jumping from those two things, and I mean, especially for us, I mean, you know, you got two breadwinner household where you're both working together. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm wondering from maybe that perspective, in maybe females having to play maybe a greater role, or, you know, how to deal with that, their other spouse or the husband that's there that, you know, maybe they feel like they don't fill that role anymore and they're kind of looking and struggling through that. I don't know how to kind of join in with them and you know, work within the dynamics of the marriage at that point.
Well, you know, men need a lot of respect. We know that. And sometimes they don't feel respected when they've lost their job. And so I think it's important for a wife to try to fill that gap a little bit. You know, to still respect her husband and support him.
Yes.
You know, and there might be a temporary where she's making more money than he is, or she's having to do more work, which he's going to need to come in and fill in with the children if they have children. You know, and that can sometimes cause some issues too, because she might want to be with her children more. You know, and she might not be able to because she's got to work more.
Well, generally we know that men tend to find their place in society and their self-worth through their jobs, more so than a lot of women do. Even though women are in the job market, they still identify so much more with home and with family and with their role there, along with what they're doing in the professional world. But men, generally the professional world is where they really come on and do well, and then they bring that back home with them when they come in at the end of the day. To not have a job and suddenly be at home all day, and to maybe take on that role of taking care of the children, while they can do it, obviously, it's not always a comfort level for them. And if they're not feeling good because they have no job, they don't have anything to bring home to continue to make themselves feel good, and it gets difficult.
But I mean, even with that, I mean, I think of, you know, there is maybe a part of your identity, or maybe not even a part, that is your identity, and the importance to be able to stretch that or be flexible and maybe add some more things to it, so it's not just, this is who I am, my work defines me, it's that is a part of who I am, and I can identify some other things that, you know, also kind of bring some joy and add value to who I am as a person or an individual.
Well, and I think it's important for the guy who is laid off and has lost their job to be able to look at things that they can do to make themselves feel important again, to be involved in things, because if they're just sitting at home and all these dynamics have changed, they're probably going to have more risk of being depressed, of having troubles in terms of feeling about self-esteem issues. And so they've got to look for things that will help them to be more productive. You know, one of the first things that I tell a lot of my folks is, you know, get active, get involved. Don't just, you know, stay at home. And particularly since they're going to be at home, don't sleep until 10, get up, hang around in your pajamas all day, because you're not going to feel productive that way. I really advise my folks to, you know, get up at the regular time in the morning that they normally would get up, get showered, get dressed for the day in comfortable clothes, but professional looking clothes, and work. You know, their job now, you keep your routine, and their job now is to find a job. So
or it could even be more education.
Yes.
You could
Whatever
take
they need.
that time
Go
for
to
more
school.
education. You could go to school. You could read books. You could do things to, you know, better yourself.
It's a perfect time in this moment.